We're supposed to help each other out. It's more important to be a benefit to others than to even perform acts of worship that are personal. Main inspiration came working with Who's the Sand at a soup kitchen. And at the time, I was really inspired by this Pakistani truck art aesthetic. And I was talking to him about it. I said, it would be really interesting if we're really good at making food over here. What if we just did this as a food truck? And we decorated the food truck as a Pakistani truck. I searched on Instagram and I found a person who goes around the world really painting cars like this. I contacted him. And he said he loved the idea and he would love to help us out. And since then, we've been using this car to basically feed the homeless. Whenever there's a lot of excess food at our community centers, or there's a few families that want to sponsor giving it to the homeless, we go out, we reach out to them, and we distribute that food. Like most industrial cities, metropolitan cities, there's always a sizable population of homeless people. And what's really interesting about Chicago is you see a stark drop-off depending on the street that you're on, where the poverty levels increase. In Chicago, it's really broken down primarily within the north and the south. As you move further south, you hit higher poverty stricken areas. If you look at the way Chicago was designed, a lot of cities and a lot of major highways are put into place in order to close off certain populations to certain areas. It was done in such a way that white Americans would live on one side of the highway and African American would live on the other side, and be very difficult to cross over. And you can still see the remnants of that in 2019. We're supposed to help each other out. It's more important to be a benefit to others than to even perform acts of worship that are personal. I wanted to show that we're not just Muslims, but we're also from America. We're also from the city of Chicago. And I want people to know that. The people of this city are my people. I don't look at them as anything different. These are our people. How can we give response to God on the day of judgment? And when He's going to ask us, what did you do about those who were hungry out of your neighbors? What did you do about those who could not afford, their medicine, or could not provide health care, or could not attain a proper education, or those who were, being oppressed in other means? What were you doing to help those people when I gave you so much? This art piece, there's spiritual aspects to it. There's aspects that deal directly with the soul, with the heart, and there's also aspects that deal with the world itself that we're living in. And we are an accumulation of both. I do find it's something that attracts people, and why not use that means of attraction towards giving some sort of lesson? And in this case, the lesson is to break from your normal cycle, your day-to-day life. Think about others for a while. What am I doing today as I'm going to work to help somebody else? When people see this car drive by, their first response is to look at it and see what this is all about. And then they see a quote about it, say, hey, I know you're going through a lot of trouble. I know that you are in a lot of pain, but take a moment and pray for somebody else before you pray for yourself. Break out of that cycle of selfishness for a moment.